This is the first time that I'm speaking about it. Something that I'll never forget, actually. I think my life changed a lot from that day, and I've never really recovered from it.
A former assistant to Sean Diddy Combs speaking out in a new interview with new allegations about wild parties and drug use.
The highly anticipated docuseries The Fall of Diddy has sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry, and as it reaches its finale, a former employee has come forward with disturbing allegations against Sean Diddy Combs. Phillip Pines, a former personal assistant to the disgraced hip-hop mogul, has broken his silence in an explosive interview, detailing the horrific experiences he endured while working under Diddy. From being forced to prove his loyalty in deeply unsettling ways to cleaning up the aftermath of Diddy's notorious parties, Pines' account paints a dark and sinister picture of the rap icon's private life.
Diddy's assistant now giving us details about what he says were called Wild King Nights.
It's official. I survived what I've been through.
This morning, new details allegedly inside Diddy's world before his shocking arrest. The entertainment mogul now behind bars for federal sex trafficking and racketeering charges.
It was a circus. He did whatever he wanted, and we were just at his disposal.
Phil Pines was Diddy's senior executive assistant from 2019 to 2021.
The final episode of The Fall of Diddy, set to air on Investigation Discovery, features a candid interview with Phillip Pines. In this interview, Pines recounts his harrowing experiences while working for Combs between 2019 and 2021. His testimony provides a first-hand glimpse into the toxic and manipulative culture surrounding Diddy's empire.
The new interview, part of Investigation Discovery's docuseries, The Fall of Diddy.
My job is to shield his private life from the public.
Pines even sharing audio he says is of Diddy telling Pines to bring him various substances during those Wild King nights.
Phil, I need some Cialis. Can you give me 20 Xanax, please? Hey, Phil, I need a plan B.
The Fall of Diddy is a 3-part documentary series by Investigation Discovery. It examines the allegations leading to Combs' arrest on federal trafficking and racketeering charges, featuring interviews with former associates and alleged victims.
A new Investigation Discovery docuseries is uncovering some new allegations about Sean Diddy Combs.
The Fall of Diddy, as it's called, features stories from some of those who worked closely with the music mogul, and that includes Danity Kane singer D. Woods, who was featured on the hit show Making the Band 3.
What would you say to Diddy if you had the chance to talk to him?
Girl, I honestly do not know, but I don't think you really have to say anything. As long as I'm holding my head up high and my shoulders back.
I feel like I really want to hear this whole thing.
After the shoot, Mr. Combs wanted to see the covers before they were published. It was policy for us not to show covers to anyone before they were published. He called me at my office. I told him again, we don't show the covers, we don't share the story. I told him that I wouldn't be making an exception. And he said that he would see me dead in a trunk if I did not show it to him.
Pines describes the infamous Wild King Nights, gatherings where Combs allegedly indulged in excessive substance use and coercive encounters. According to the former assistant, these events were not merely parties, but carefully orchestrated sessions of debauchery, where employees were expected to obey every command. The level of control Diddy exerted over his staff was extreme, with Pines describing how he was ordered to set up hotel rooms and personal residences for these disturbing gatherings.
He says his then boss asked him to purchase supplies for parties dubbed Wild King Nights.
We usually had a laundry list of items that included lights, alcohol, marijuana, ketamine, Molly. Those requests started to become more frequent.
Pines claims many of these parties involved younger women.
A lot of times you'd have him with a younger female, and there's a power dynamic there. A more impressionable girl is easier to reel in. Consent is between the people that are engaging, and I wasn't there in these situations to understand the consent.
One of the most gut-wrenching revelations from the documentary is Pines' account of being forced into an intimate encounter as a means of proving his loyalty. He claims that Diddy, intoxicated and high on various substances, handed him a condom and ordered him to engage in an act with a female guest. Caught in a moment of fear and confusion, Pines says he reluctantly complied for a brief moment before seizing an opportunity to escape the room.
I remember hearing the words, "Prove your loyalty to me, King." He grabbed me by the shoulders, pushed me to a girl that was on the couch.
The alleged parties similar to the infamous freak-offs detailed in the federal charges against the star, where women were allegedly forced to perform sexual acts with Combs and others, often under the influence of drugs.
In the moment, it just felt like, what? Like, is this fun for him? Is this a test?
For years, Diddy has been surrounded by controversy, with numerous rumors and speculation about the nature of his lavish parties. Given the disturbing accounts of these gatherings, even Dave Chappelle once referred to him as a significant source of trouble.
Well, I've been in a lot of trouble in my day, but man, let me tell you something. This guy, Puffy, buddy, this guy is in an enormous amount of trouble. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. They got this guy in a RICO case by himself. A lot of my friends ask me, they say, "Dave, did you know anything about those freak-off parties?" And I'll be like, "Nah, man, I didn't know anything about the freak-off." And they all look at me like, and they be like, "Well, how all these people you know was at the freak off, but she's the only one that wasn't at the freak off?" And I thought about it for a minute. I said, "Oh my God, I'm ugly." That's a tough way to find that out.
Known for hosting lavish events attended by A-list celebrities, his parties have often been described as wild, chaotic, and unrestrained. However, the latest allegations by Pines go far beyond the realm of typical celebrity excess.
Kids have like an hour left. So get extra comfortable, kids, because after that, y'all gotta go. It's a wrap for y'all, because this thing turns into something that when y'all get older, y'all don't want to come to, okay? So, let's just start to get our groove on a little bit. In an hour, we put the kids away, it's all good. Hey, DJ, let's hit it. Let's do it. Come on. Okay, now.
Pines' allegations align with disturbing footage that has surfaced from Diddy's infamous parties, providing visual confirmation of the kind of debauchery he describes. Over the years, various leaked videos and first-hand accounts have hinted at the dark and chaotic nature of these gatherings, reinforcing the claims made by Pines and other accusers.
I want to see some behind-the-scenes footage from a Diddy freak-off party.
When it comes to a P. Diddy party, this is what happens to the white man. It's so unfortunate. You gotta pull back though, so they can see. That's crazy. Matt, move out the way. You're still alive. Look at that. Look. What you? And the drink on his head. And that's James from Simeon Mobile Disco. He is a actual DJ. I'm supposed to pass out, but when they come to one of my parties, this is what happens to him.
I mean, first off, I'm just shocked that he still has his pants on, being in that position at a Diddy party. Secondly, I wake up and I see a video like that, bro. I'm coming for you, bro. You gonna get done, Diddy. How has this been going on for decades and nobody is that man?
Young Miami has been accused of transporting pink cocaine to Diddy in new court documents. Plaintiff and the Combs RICO enterprise were rehearsing for something in the Westival, in Virginia. The court filing reads, Plaintiff Jones personally witnessed Mr. Combs do a few lines of coke in his dressing room. Defendant Sean Combs wanted Tussie, but Brendan forgot it. So defendant Christina Coram called Young Miami, who then brought it on the private jet from Miami. Young Miami, Jade, and Daphne Joy were paid a monthly fee to work as Mr. Combs' sex workers and receive payment via wire transfer. I mean, the nigga's so gay he can't even do regular coke. It gotta be pink. I bet y'all gonna ignore the part where it says Young Miami was hired as his sex worker. I see why JT got the fuck on. I mean, after all, Young Miami did say, "I'll hold a brick for you, daddy." So is this a drug case or a sex case? This all makes sense why JT don't fuck with her. These stories getting more and more outrageous.
Diddy has been accused of similar allegations by a Michigan prisoner. Derek Lee Cardello Smith has filed a lawsuit against Diddy, alleging that the rapper engaged in misconduct with him in 1997 at a Holiday Inn in Detroit. Cardello Smith also claims that Jennifer Lopez, who dated Diddy between 1999 and 2001, may have important information regarding the alleged incident.
A Michigan inmate has been awarded $100 million in his civil lawsuit against infamous music mogul Sean Diddy Combs. The judgment was issued to 51-year-old Derek Lee Cardello Smith yesterday. He accuses Diddy of drugging and sexually assaulting him at a party in Detroit back in 1997. Combs did not appear for the hearing in that case yesterday, and the judge made a default judgment and also issued a temporary restraining order against Combs. Cardello Smith is currently serving time in Muskegon Heights for an unrelated conviction, and some are calling this the largest judgment awarded to a current inmate in state history. Now, Diddy's attorney is responding to our request for comment, writing in part, Mr. Combs has never heard of him, let alone been served with any lawsuit.
Cardello Smith's lawsuit details his encounter with Diddy while working as a bartender. He alleges that Diddy invited him to a private party at the hotel where the misconduct took place. According to Cardello Smith, Diddy gave him a drink with a little something added to it, causing him to fall asleep. He claims he woke up to find Diddy having intimate relations with a woman and later told him, "I did this to you too."
1997, he was a bartender at a restaurant in Detroit. He says he was invited to a gathering at the Holiday Inn where Combs would be partying. The complaint reads, quote, "Plaintiff was excited to attend this gathering and did so because this was Sean Puff Daddy Combs, Bad Boys. Plaintiff had participated in and consumed alcohol with Mr. Combs and the ladies and other security. Puffy was shockingly cool and someone who seemed like a really decent, normal guy." Cardello Smith goes on to allege that he participated in group sex with several women and Combs, but said that when Combs showed an interest in him, he immediately got up and sat on a couch. By the way, a little side note here, these allegations are very similar to what has been alleged in several lawsuits that have been filed against Sean Combs since November of 2023. Recall, he's facing allegations of sex trafficking, rape, harassment, abuse, and so forth. But Cardello Smith's complaint states, quote, "I then went to get another drink, and Sean asked me if I needed something else. I said no, and he said here."
The indictment against Diddy also matches with claims made by Pines in the recent interview. The indictment details how Diddy allegedly used threats, force, and substances to coerce victims into participating in these activities.
There's really no deal that the U.S. Attorney's Office can offer, and it's certainly not one that Diddy will accept. It would involve decades in federal prison. We're talking about mandatory minimum sentences of 10 years for both the drug charges and the trafficking. So we know that Diddy has fought charges before. There were state charges, there were gun-related, the nightclub shooting with J-Lo, but he's going to dig in his heels, and this case is going to trial. So if you're prosecutors, you really want to make sure that your evidence is bulletproof before you go down that route.
What exactly is Diddy being charged with?
They recovered surveillance videos, they recovered cell phones, they recovered computers, electronic devices, as well as guns, and of course the baby oil, and all of this.
I've been waiting for baby oil to go back in stock, but
yes. Most importantly, what people need to remember is that, look, the feds are going through all of this surveillance footage and they are conducting their investigation, and based on that, they have seen a lot. So in terms of people talking, shut your mouth. You do not know what the feds know. You don't know if you are in those videos. You don't know whether you are a part of these criminal acts. So I would suggest shut it up.
I am seeing all over the internet, a whole lot of people are talking about what they saw at the party, you know, if they worked for him.
Making themselves witnesses.
Oh.
The raids also revealed a variety of controlled substances used during these encounters. Additionally, the investigation uncovered instances of physical misconduct, with reports of Diddy exploiting women.
We do have breaking news this evening. Music mogul Sean Diddy Combs has been arrested in Manhattan after a grand jury indicted avoided him, multiple sources are telling ABC News. We're told that federal agents with Homeland Security took him into custody. The singer and producer has been facing scrutiny since his former girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, accused him of sex trafficking and years of abuse in a 2023 lawsuit. Most recently, he was accused of years of psychological and physical abuse in a lawsuit filed by singer Don Richard just last week. Diddy's lawyer released a statement saying, in part, "We are disappointed with the decision to pursue what we believe is an unjust prosecution of Mr. Combs by the U.S. Attorney's Office. He is an imperfect person, but not a criminal. He looks forward to clearing his name in court." As for the pending lawsuits, Diddy has denied wrongdoing, and his legal team has said they plan to fight them in court.
During the raids on Combs' mansion, authorities uncovered a range of illicit items that have further fueled the serious allegations against him. Among the items seized were controlled substances, unlicensed firearms, and more than 1,000 bottles of lubricant, all of which are reportedly tied to the wild parties Diddy is accused of hosting. These findings are crucial in the ongoing investigation into the alleged exploitation and trafficking activities at these events.
1,000 bottles of baby oil. What surprised you the most about what you read yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, that, Brian, was was definitely an alarming graph of the indictment when you read that when they raided, I believe it was the Miami home, where they found 1,000 bottles of, and they said that these were items that were used at the freak-offs. There were also large amounts of drugs, they said, cocaine, ketamine, Molly, GHB, the rape drug. So, you know, they said that the house, according to the feds, that was stocked for these parties that were going on. And then to read their description of how
these findings have led to a significant legal battle, with Diddy denying all allegations. The case continues to develop as more victims come forward, and the evidence gathered during the raids plays a crucial role in the ongoing proceedings.
I believe victims, because I understand the tremendous courage it takes to step forward. So if you're watching this, please hear me. If you're out there and you have been victimized, you are not alone. There is a great strength.
The attorney handling the case against P. Diddy has indeed received an overwhelming response. He reported receiving 3,000 calls from individuals claiming to be victims. This surge in allegations highlights the extensive nature of the accusations and the potential scale of the case.
You can seek redress. You can obtain justice. We can help you, and we will help you. That being said, as stated, we are vetting every call that we receive. We have had to turn away some. For each, we ask for corroboration. For each, we ask for the identity of witnesses. We also have collected pictures, videos, texts. We check venues, we check dates. We want to corroborate that the claims being made have legitimacy and merit. We have on staff now a former detective.
What are your thoughts on the shocking allegations against Diddy? Do you think more former employees will come forward with similar claims? Share your opinions in the comments below.